What's up, Fish Vibes people? Fish Vibes people! You saw that? You saw that, guys? Tell me what kind of fish is that, guys? Tell me what fish that is. What is that fish? Guys, so I have some Bala sharks here. So for those who have been following the channel, you know I lost 3 Bala sharks. Then recently I went and got an additional 3. And guess what? I went back and got an additional 3 again. So that's actually 6 additional Bala sharks I've picked up now. The other 3, I put them in my outdoor pond. They are about the same size. These are about 3 inches, 2.5, 3 inches. So let me tell you, these Bala sharks have a lot of personality. And as you all may have seen in some of my videos, the Bala shark, they love to come up on the top of the water. And I notice with the power heads and stuff, with the pumps I have that oxygenate the pond, they love to surf in the force of the stream that comes from that oxygenation from the pump, sorry. They love to get in that and ride those heavy currents. They come to the water. If you throw food for them, they will, go after the food, take it one at a time each. And they're competitive and they're quick. So even though they're in a pond with a lot of aggressive cichlids, and those, my pond has moved really into a red devil type pond, they compete and they do pretty well in there. So I must say I really, really like these sharks. And, there was one time I was of the opinion that a 14-inch Bala shark is probably as big as they get. But I was then advised that someone told me that they saw like almost a 20-inch to 2 feet Bala sharks. I must say I'm a little skeptical about that comment someone did make and say that. But, guess what? It may very well be possible. And you're not sure where the person would have said it. I didn't get into where that was. Probably it's where they originate from. I think it's Indonesia. Probably they would have seen some footage of that. But I would love to see how big I could get mines to be. I mean, the last set I had, there was about, I think it was 10 inches the guys were clocking. I have another one that's about 12 inches. Those guys, I don't have them much. I don't have them for more than 2 years. And, it's possible that those guys could grow some more. I would love to see how big they get. I would love to see how big they get. So technically now what I have about 8. I have 8 Bala sharks now in total. I'm growing these 3 out in this aquarium. Get them up to size, power feed them. And when they get to about 5 inches or so, and a lot more girth, thicker, I would then transfer them into my outdoor pond. But, or probably I'll leave them to get a little bigger than 5 inches, because these guys have a lot of character. Now this is a 55-gallon tank, so I'm not going to keep them in here to the point where they're not comfortable, right? And once they require more movement, I'll put them out there in the pond with the others. And of course you'll get them to have that where all of them swimming together. Yeah, and you get the real characteristics of them in a schooling, you'll get the best out of them. Now I know I told you guys to tell me what kind of pleco I had. Listen, this guy loves to hide, But I know we got a good view of him already. But just so that for those who are not sure, it's a royal pleco, right? That's one of my royal plecos. Yeah. not going to get the best of him here. He has gone to the darkest part of the tank, but he has a lot of character. I also have another two plecos in here, the zebra plecos. They are always hiding. Those zebra plecos are pretty nice patterned. They remain small, at least the pair that I have. Well, let me don't say it's a pair. I have two. They remain small. I'm not seeing them getting as big as how the Royal Pleco gets. They have a more smaller characteristic, at least so far that I've seen in this tank. I also wish I could have gotten to show you guys the that coolie loach that is in here. Very nice patterns. But again, most times I get that one coming out when it's dark, when the tank is dark. And of course I have my dragon eel here. So some of you would know I had two dragon eels in here. Upon further research, I recognized those guys just don't get along. And I mean, it was evident in the way they were constantly attacking each other. This one was the much more aggressive one. So I took the other one out and put it in my outdoor pond. It went in the pond with the guppies. Honestly, since I've put it in there, I haven't seen it. It's going to be difficult to see it. I will use my GoPro probably some other time and go down inside there to see if I can see it, capture him on the GoPro. But I could only imagine how much size he has put on, because he's basically going to be operating in a natural environment, outdoor, in a heavily planted pond with a lot of guppies and mollies and green hillaries. So he's a lot of snails, natural soil beds, all through the planted roots. So whatever insects or whatever kind of items in that bed there that it could feed on, whether it has some natural bloodworms or what other things are in the soil bed there, he's going to be having a natural diet. And then he gets some of the protein pellets that I would throw for the guppies, and sure some of them would sink. He would benefit from that. And sometimes I throw some of the other sinking foods that I have, so he gets the benefit of those also. So I'm sure he's living his best life outside there, because he was under a lot of pressure by this beast in here that is very passive now with no competitor. He just loves to hang out in the front of the tank here. There's a piece of hose that I am going to get to put in this tank, which will allow him to have a nice dark area to hide in. I'm not sure if I'll see it after that, but I'm just more interested in giving it its best opportunity, best life. But I must say, he's in very good condition. He's not coming out for me to get a proper look at him, but you guys would have seen this in some of my other videos. It's a 55-gallon tank. It's an old tank. I have this tank probably as long as I bought this house. I bought this house in, I think, 2000 and I don't want to give the wrong date, 2006. So this tank, and it's an acrylic, and it has really stood up. 55-gallon. So I'm thinking seriously, I've been contemplating, getting a 180 or a 120 gallon. I was planning to put it in a different part of my home, but I'm thinking I could probably put it in this area here. I'll just have to move around the couches and stuff there, and set it up in this section here. Of course I'm going to go with I'm thinking a glass tank with a sump, factory design, factory made, um, a really nice tank. I've actually seen them. So far they selling for about, in Trinidad here, about 2,500 US roughly. Um, as I told the pet shop owner, I waited for the price to go on fire sale. Now they have a lot, so they supply a lot of big places, restaurants and stuff. But I mean, with what we see in here with this vicious virus, I'll be honest, I'm waiting to see if I could get a better deal on those tanks. I mean, I don't know. We don't have in-house dining, and I don't know how long they'll just keep those tanks just sitting there. I think it would be better for them to give me a discount, a bigger discount, guys. What do you think? So yeah, so I've always kind of hesitated wanting to put, I call them these water glass boxes with water in it, in my home. Um, but I would say acrylic. I've recognized I haven't had any problems with the acrylic tank. People, when I hear people talk about the lifespan of a tank, you kind of hear 10 years. If I had this tank, let's say even 2006, it's definitely more than 12 years, 14 years, definitely more than 12 years. And no problems whatsoever, knock on wood. But very, very faithful, no issues, no unsticking. As a matter of fact, I would say I have seen some separation with the base, with the frame on the back corner. I've seen some separation, right? If you look here, guys, you see there's a space here. This is a space, and look, you could see the silicone there, right? And it's separate. That wasn't so from the start, unless it was and I never noticed it. I wonder. No, I would have noticed that when cleaning that. And, even with that, and it's going strong still. And I've observed that, and it's going strong. What I don't do, I don't interfere with it. I've never emptied it. I've cleaned the substrate in the earlies, shoveling up all the substrate, moving it to another side of the tank, and then, using my vacuum to get out all the muck and detritus and stuff, and then push back all the material, and that has worked pretty well. So I haven't really moved the tank except for once back in the early days when I didn't know much about tank, and I used to clean these tank, wash out everything. So I would have taken it outside in the yard and that kind of thing and clean it out. But substantially, the tank stays right here in place, and all is well. And I would say I've been thinking about setting it up as a shrimp tank exclusive. But, it's just option. So guys, I've been rambling on a lot as usual, as you know. I was really trying to see if I could capture my dragon eel here in motion for you all. But he has decided he's not really moving about here now. And he's not intimidated by me. So even if I was to tap that glass there or anything, he's just not going to move. He's not moving from there until he's ready to eat. And I must say, with these Bala sharks coming in here, he does have some competition for the food. And they only here for this is their second evening here. So he better change that lazy way about him, because those guys will eat out all his food. Anyway, guys, enough, and until the next time, Donald Fish Vibes saying ciao, over and out. See you guys on the next one.